Let's look at the sentence completion section next. As with the rest of this course, we will be showing you the best, most proven methods. The Kaplan Review method, which is a 4-step approach, is the one we like using the most, along with some helpful tips from Barron's, SAT for Dummies, and of course, the Princeton Review. Now, let's look at Kaplan's strategy for handling sentence completion. Think about the sentence for a second or two. Figure out what the sentence means, taking special note of the clue words. A word like but tells you to expect a contrast coming up. A word like moreover tells you that what follows is a continuation of the same idea. Clue words such as and, but, such as, and although tell you how the parts of the sentence will relate to each other. Decide what sort of word should fill the blank or blanks. Do this before looking at the answer choices. You don't have to make an exact prediction. A rough idea of the kind of word needed will do. It's often enough simply to predict whether the missing word is positive or negative. Compare your prediction to each answer choice. Read every answer choice before deciding. Put your answer choice in the blank or blanks. You should be able to come up with your final answer. Only one choice should really make sense. If you've gone through the 4 steps and more than one choice seems possible, eliminate the choices you can, guess, and then move on quickly. If all of the choices look great or all of the choices look terrible, circle the question and come back when you've done with the section. Now pause the video and take no more than 60 seconds to try this question using the 4-step Kaplan method. The clue here is the phrase led to. You know that the kind of decisions the king made gave him a reputation as a just and blank ruler. So whatever goes in both blanks must be consistent with just. Both blanks must contain words that are similar in meaning. Because of his blank decisions, the king is viewed as a just and blank ruler. Thus, if the king's decisions were good, he'd be remembered as a good ruler, and if his decisions were bad, he'd be remembered as a bad ruler. Just, which means fair, is a positive sounding word. You can predict that both blanks will be similar in meaning and that both will be positive words. You can write a plus in the blanks or over the columns of answer choices to remind you. One way to do this is to determine which answers are both positive and similar. In A, quick and capricious are not both positive and similar. Capricious means erratic or fickle. In B, equitable means fair. Equitable and wise are similar, and they are both positive. When you plug them in, they make sense. So B looks right. But check out the others to be sure. In C, immoral and perceptive aren't similar at all. Perceptive is positive, but immoral is not. In D, generous and witty are both positive adjectives, but they are not really similar and don't make sense in the sentence. Generous decisions would not give one a reputation as a witty ruler. In E, clever and uneducated are not similar at all. Clever is positive, but uneducated is not. The king's equitable decisions as a diplomat and administrator led to his legendary reputation as a just and wise ruler. B makes sense in the sentence, so B is your answer. Your mastery of this method will get better as you practice. The most task when solving sentence completion questions is identifying the clue words and understanding what they tell you about how the sentence fits together. The better you are at spotting and using clue words, the easier it will be to eliminate down to the correct choice if you have to use POE. So that's Kaplan's 4-step approach in a nutshell. We like this approach because it is easy and effective. Take some time to practice this approach as much as you need. It is sure to help you score big on the test, even if you're still uncertain about the vocabulary. For many of you, this approach is all that you will need to get the high score that you're looking for. However, Kaplan does offer additional good advice that I would like to share with you. Here's an example of some of those points. If a word used in a sentence is unfamiliar Or if an answer choice is unknown to you, look at its context in the sentence to see whether the context provides a clue to the meaning of the word. Often, authors will use an unfamiliar word and then immediately define it within the same sentence. Let's look at an example together. Looking at the 5 answer choices, you may feel unequipped to try to tackle the sentence at all. However, the clause that immediately follows the colon, "She seemed to know what" leaders were thinking, is there to explain and clarify that missing word. The two groups of words are juxtaposed, set beside one another, to make their relationship clear. The missing word has something to do with the Queen's ability to see through those foreign leaders and practically read their thoughts. Now that you know the missing word's general meaning, go through the answer choices to see which one makes sense. Symbiosis means living together, cooperatively or intimately, as in a symbiotic relationship. It has nothing to do with being insightful or astute. You can eliminate choice A. Malevolence means ill will. The Queen's ability shows her perceptiveness, not her ill will. You can eliminate choice B. Punctiliousness means carefulness about observing all the proper formalities. You can eliminate choice C. Consternation means amazement or alarm. Elizabeth was clear-sighted, not confused or amazed. You can eliminate choice D. Only choice E is left, perspicacity. Elizabeth's ability to know the thoughts of foreign leaders demonstrates her acute mental vision or discernment. In other words, her perspicacity. The correct answer choice is E.